Hello YouTube, how's everyone doing? This is Champion 2D Rob back again with another pickups video. Not got a lot of things this week. Just 4 games. One game that I actually failed to include in my last pickup video. I don't know why, I just completely forgot to include it. And 3 more additions that I thought, worth showing now. May as well. I don't know if I'm gonna be picking up much games now between now and Christmas. There are going to be a couple of games that I will be picking up for sure. But in terms of modern stuff, yes, I'll probably pick up a game, here and there. But between now and Christmas, there probably won't be enough modern stuff to make any videos out of. And in terms of retro, there's not much games that I want to pick up just yet. As the reason for that is that I'm looking to get a system, a new system. I've been meaning to get it. I've kind of been on the fence about getting it, and I don't want to say too much because once I get it, I'll explain why. But yeah, I do want to get a system. So because of that, it's going to cost a little bit more money. Therefore, I don't really want to be sort of spending money on retro games until I get the system. So hopefully I'll get it before the year is out. But if not, I'll get it early next year. But anyway, moving on. Yes, just got 4 games here, so let's get cracking and get on with it. First game I got. Now this was the one that I actually did not include in my last video. I don't know why. Maybe it was subconscious. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't want to show this game, and you'll know why in a second. But yeah, I decided to pick this game up for the PlayStation 1. It is a game that I've been curious to play. It falls into a genre that I'm a very big fan of. But I've always sort of been skeptical about this game. In all honesty, the game didn't really look that good, but its weirdness, its wackiness, always sort of made it a curiosity for me. So I figured, I may as well pick it up. The game I got was Batman Forever, the arcade game, and this is a side-scrolling beat 'em up based in, as you would guess, the Batman Forever film, and it is completely off the walls bonkers. This is a completely weird game. I don't know what the developers were smoking when they made this game, because it's absolutely weird. I mean, you've got, it's basically it's a 2D fighter, 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up. But the characters are like digitized sprites, and I don't know what it's got to do with Batman, because it's got some really weird power-ups where Batman can he sort of jumps in the air and sort of seems to have some sort of massive electric power surge and sort of destroys all the enemies on the screen. If you take too many hits, he shrinks down, becomes like a little person. It's really bonkers and weird. But if I'm honest, it's not very good. The controls are way too loose for my liking. You sort of move around the screen like you're on ice skates. I really don't like that. It just doesn't really have the oomph, when you hit a character. I don't know. It just, the controls, I feel, kind of let this game down. This is nothing like Batman Returns on the Super Nintendo. That one is a quality side-scrolling beat 'em up, but this one is very much more of a curiosity. So I think for me this probably goes with such titles that I have in my collection that I kind of know are bad. This is not a great game by any stretch of the imagination, but it can be fun. It's just it's not in terms of compared to other sort of side-scrolling beat 'em ups that I've played, this is by far not up there at all. But yeah, so glad, well, not really glad, but it's nice to have in a collection anyway. And another title I have here, this time it's for the Game Boy, just a loose cart, and this is one of those instances where you should never really go on eBay when you're half asleep and you're not really sort of paying attention to what you're doing, and because this was really one of those instances, and I just ended up putting a bid on this game. And I ended up winning it, but in hindsight, I probably wouldn't have done so. But I guess the reason for it is because it's a licensed game. It's based on a superhero that I am familiar with, and I'm a bit of a fan of them, if I'm honest. And I've never played any of these games, so I thought I would give the Game Boy version a chance. And the game is Swamp Thing. And it's a 2D action platformer, but again, if I'm honest, it's not very good. I actually bought this blind. I didn't do my research first. I'm aware of the NES version. I know that's not a very good game, which you just basically assume that the Game Boy version would not be very good either, and it isn't really. It's not that good. It's pretty average. But I didn't look it up. I didn't look up footage beforehand. I just sort of was on eBay, half asleep. I was sort of like, oh, Swamp Thing. I kind of just sort of clicked, put a bid in, and I just ended up winning it. And when I realised I'd won it, like a day later, I was like, oh crap, But I don't care. You know what? I'm actually glad to have it because it's not really a common title, so yeah, it's semi decent. Yeah, so moving on, last two titles here, and thankfully these games are good, and I did mean to buy them. So yeah, the first one I have here, this is a game for the PlayStation 2, which is it's quite rare now to see me picking up PS2 games. I don't really pick them up anymore now. There's not a lot on the PlayStation 2 that I'm really after. This one was definitely a game clearly missing from my collection, and when you see it, you'll know why. But yeah, I think with PS2 now, I'm happy to report that I do have every game that I wanted for it. I've got what I would consider all the best games. There's not much that I think there's not anything I can really think of that I want. Because any other game that I try to think of, they're really games I can do without. They're not really sort of must-have titles. So I'm quite proud of my PlayStation 2 collection. I've done alright with that. So, but yeah, anyway, this was definitely one that I needed. It's a shoot 'em up. I promise I'm not doing this because everyone else is picking up shoot 'em ups. I'm not really. It's just that I have the sequel to this game, and I actually had no idea this was actually the first game in that series. I didn't even know the game I had was a sequel because it has a completely different title, as it's quite common with a lot of these Western releases for shoot 'em ups. They just sort of, whoever was releasing these games over here just sort of mixed and matched with whatever titles they wanted to have. So I had no idea this game was even part of that series. But anyway, the game I picked up was Samurai Aces. And apparently this is the first game in the Tengai series, because I have Tengai on the PS2 and I love that game. So I decided to pick this up, and this is an awesome title. It is different from Tengai. Tengai is a horizontal shoot 'em up, whereas this is a vertical shoot 'em up, and it's awesome. Definitely glad to have this one in the collection. I was playing a little bit of this game last night actually, and it's balls hard. I'm really shit at these games. Why do I do this to myself? I don't know why I keep buying these games, because I'm just completely shite at them. But you know, I enjoy them. I do think they're fun, and I do like the. I think what I like about Tengai, much like this game, is that, unlike these sort of usual shoot 'em ups where it's sort of like, you're in a spaceship or a plane or whatever. In this case, you're like these ninja guys that are flying around. In this case, you're sort of like you're on a hang glider or whatever. And I love the visual style of the enemies. They just sort of like these big, massive, mechanized samurais and stuff that just fire all these bullets at you. And I don't know. I just like the visual look of Samurai Aces and Tengai. So yeah, really glad to get this one actually. It didn't cost too much actually. It was being sold on eBay for 15 quid, but I had some PayPal money, so I only ended up spending 10 quid on it really. So that's not too bad. I mean that's really what I wanted to pay for this game. I didn't really want to spend more than a tenner for this game, but the game has sort of gone up in price. I know you can sort of catch it on eBay if you're lucky for less than a tenner, but that's few and far between. Those are quite lucky auctions, or you won't get it for a buy now for 7 quid, but you might win it for less than a tenner if you're lucky. But I paid a tenner really, so I'm happy to get it, and yeah, it's in nice condition. So yeah, glad to get that. And lastly, really chuffed to get this actually. Wasn't expecting to pick this game up so soon, because it's a very expensive title, but it's definitely one that I wanted to get. I was quite fortunate because I recently sold the game on eBay for a decent price, so it managed to pay for this pretty much. It just sort of timed just right. I was bidding on this game just as like the other game sold, so it sold just before this ended. I ended up winning it, and I actually won it for a very good price given what this game goes for. But I'm glad to say that I didn't have to put any of my own money into it, and it's one I'm really happy to have, as it completes this nice little collection for me. And what I got was Metroid Prime Trilogy. So this is really the last game for the Wii that I needed, and really chuffed with it. It's pretty much mint. It comes in like a slipcase, and it's got all the leaflets and stuff. It's even got the Wii points unscratched. The disc is immaculate. It's flawless. Really chuffed to finally get this in the collection. I'm a huge fan of Metroid, although I've never really played any of these 3D ones besides the one on the DS. I've heard a lot of good things, so I'm interested to see what Metroid Prime Trilogy is going to be like. I ended up winning this game on auction for £61. It came to 61 quid, and I only really paid, because I'd sold off a game, so I ended up paying 4 quid out of my own money, and the rest was just all PayPal money. So wasn't expecting to get this so soon, but it was just perfect timing. So yeah, just really chuffed to finally have this in the collection. And for those of you wondering how many Wii games I've ended up with, not including the one game that came with the system that Daz gave me, I have exactly 30 games. So yeah, 30 titles for the Wii. Really chuffed to build that little collection, and this was a top title to finally end it on. So that is it, guys. That is the end of my pickups. Not a lot to show you here, but I'm sure you'll think there's some good titles there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll be back very soon with another video, so stay tuned. Bye bye.